What's up, everyone? How are we doing tonight? Welcome, everyone, to the live stream. Marslight, glad that you were able to wait. Everyone's doing good, I hope. Just gonna tweak a couple of settings here before we kick things off. All right, so in the poll, we've had 22 people vote so far, and it seems like a pretty solid majority of you want to see me build a base. So that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to build a base. And I saw your chat there, Tyrion. If by base you mean an outpost on Nebra, well, you're not far off. That is pretty close to what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to be building a base around at least one of the moons of Titus. That's the goal. We're going to visit one of the moons of Titus, and we're going to build a outpost there and put some Drews on that outpost and check it out. Are there new landing legs? Yes, and this craft is sporting one of the new landing legs, which I will show you happily. We've got these funky little KIS legs, which I think are based off of the... why is this hovering? Hold on. Oh, hold on. That's weird. Hold on. Relaunch. Large launch pad? Did it glitch? That was... Did you guys see that? It just lifted off? That was super weird. All right, let's try that again. See if we can replicate that bug. Nothing's happening. I activate the stage. My throttle is all the way down. It's generating thrust, but it's all the way down. What the heck? Okay, well, that is wrong. Does anyone have any idea what just happened there? Is the engine glitching out? Is it the landing legs? Let's get rid of the landing legs real quick. I am running stock engine overhaul. I'm wondering if the new update is conflicting with the mods I'm running. Is it still generating thrust? It's still generating thrust. What the heck? I'm generating 123. Is it on in XML? No, it's not. Oh, Pedro just said it's a known issue. My fault. Well, you know what, guys? That's what happens when you play around with the experimental version of the game. Okay, I don't know why the engine is generating 123 kilonewtons of thrust randomly. We're just going to move on with that. So we're building a base on Nebra. Let's go take a look. Take a look at where we want to build this base. We can look at Nebra from orbit. The engine mods are indeed broken. Okay, maybe we'll disable the mod then. Yeah, we might have to disable stock engine overhaul and just do stock, which is fine. Oh, and I need to change system anyway because I'm not even in the ISS community system. So good opportunity here. Okay, so we're going to land on Nebra, which is this super thick atmosphere water world with volcanic islands on it. It's a very interesting place. We're going to find an island we want to put down on. And we're going to land there promptly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the link to the community system. So we're not just doing any old live stream. We're not just doing any old mission here. We're actually building it in the ISS community sandbox. And what that is a kind of a collaborative effort to build all sorts of different things in one sandbox shared by a bunch of players. We've had quite a few missions launched at this point. And it's starting to get a little cluttered. But before we get to that, I'm going to disable this, and I'm going to restart the game. So we're going to exit that. Everyone, bear with me as I restart the game. You're just going to be looking at a black screen and my face for a second, but that's okay. Hang in there. We're going to fix this. The experimental version has broken my mods. So Tyrion says there's a great island with a naturally flat bit near the 00 volcano. That sounds like a perfect place to build a base. I don't know where else we'd want to build a base except for an island with a volcano and a nice flat bit. All right, so we will build our base there on the volcano island. Continue. Yep, that's fine. We're gonna rebuild the rocket anyway. I don't need mods. And we will paste. There we go. We'll paste in the link to the ISS Community Sandbox. And we will start working on our design. So we're going to need to build a base on another planet. That's going to be pretty big, pretty taxing to say the least. So, oh, here is, I think this is the last mission that I launched at the community system. We have a little space station in orbit. These are inflatable habitat modules. It's a fun little space station. So, in flight, save and exit. Yeah, that's fine. Let's start working on the rocket. So, what do we want the base to look like? Any suggestions from chat on what we want the base to look like? Just general, like, what should I shoot for? Do we want like one module that's like the core? Do we want multiple modules on the side? Do we want it to just be the one habitat? Any suggestions? Now is the time. Let's grab our command chip, set that as the primary, and start building. At the very least, we're going to need a descent module. And how wide do we want this to be? We could do a 6 meter wide or a 5 meter wide rocket, 2.5 meter radius fuel tanks here. Shrink that down to about there. This will be our upper stage, which will be about yay big. Drop this part down to the bottom. Needs to have a radio dish and multiple modules. Those are the two things I've seen so far. I like the suggestions. Those are good suggestions. Keep them coming while I work here, guys. Keep them coming. Make it familiar. I think similar, you mean? Similar to the Jamestown? Yeah, we could do the Jamestown. So the Jamestown, that's from that HBO show that I've never seen all of, but I've seen clips, and I know what you're talking about. And generally the shape, we could do something like that. I've done builds like that in the past too. Yeah, use the Apollo style landing legs for sure, definitely will. Let's do a tiled look for these. Actually, this one can be that, and let's do tiles for this one. 6 by 6. Okay. Tiles for this one. We'll do 6 by 6 as well. Good to go. We need windows. We can do windows. Okay. I think I've got a general idea based on your input. I think I've got a general idea of where we want to take this. So let's start with the fairing here. We'll bring this out to, if we're doing like a Jamestown style lander, it's going to be a little wider. So we'll bring this out nice and wide. 6 nose cone and 5. Okay. So that should be plenty. Turn the texture off there. Place that there. All right. We need, for the engine, I was thinking we could actually spice it up a little bit. We could do a nuclear engine. That could be fun. That's the Titan. That's not a nuclear engine. Where's the nuclear? Where am I looking? Mage, Pixie, Dragon. There it is. Okay, so we've got the Dragon engine. That'll be our main engine for the upper stage. Will be this Dragon engine. It'll be nice and powerful. Let's also, while we're here, what was I gonna add? Oh, I know what I was gonna add. Copy this. Place that there. We're gonna do a little tinkering, but it's all in the name of a good-looking rocket. So we're gonna take the mass scale down to 0. We're gonna edit this, and it'll be a interstage 4. Apply. Boom. Let's rotate. Actually, let's put that there. Connected self, rotate it around like that. And then we're going to drag this guy up into it like that. Good. Let's zoom in a little bit. This can be shrunk down now. Have it be a little narrower. And tuck that in. That looks good. Overload mod. No. Ah. Yeah. Oh, wait. Hold on. That update has already come out, hasn't it? So where is edit hidden properties? There it is. That's right. I totally forgot about the stock version XML editing. Pedro, I apologize. I am sure I have offended your sensibilities by using the overload mod when there is a objectively better solution now. Okay, so we've got this handy dandy little stock addition to the game. Oh, we can even add input controllers. How amazing is that? All right, cool. So this is going to be our upper stage. We've got our dragon capsule. Let's add the interstage. Oh, and I actually need to look at the part connections for this, don't I? Yeah, I do. Bottom of the fuel tank. No, bottom. Get rid of that. Okay, top shell. I want that to be connected to this guy. Yes, there we go. So now I can connect him right there, and it pops off freely. Perfect. All right, let's add an inner stage, the actual inner stage. Then we'll drag that right there. Auto resize parts off real quick. I'm gonna do one thing. We're gonna tuck that in just a little bit. Okay, that looks a lot better. I use XML editing, yes, but only for aesthetic changes. I'll use Tinker and XML when I'm trying to make a part look better without adding a ton of parts to custom build it. I think that's just a more efficient way to go about it. All right, so let's start working on our booster stage here. We'll go 25 meters long. And even that might be 25 meters should be good. Edit the style of the fuel tank. Yeah, so I like the tiles for the top, but we'll change it up. Let's do channels. Right there. We'll do 2 and 2 for the tiling. Copy and shrink that. Do that. Engine. What kind of engine do we want? Let's start with. No, we're gonna need bigger. We could do the Titan. Wyvern. Let's do the Wyvern engine. That full flow staged combustion cycle. That's where it's at. Okay. We got that guy. I'm going to copy this for a second. We're going to use this as the basis for the bottom of the rocket. Let's see. Get rid of that and that. Yeah, actually, let's just throw those out. We're going to take this down to the bottom. Let's just change the engine type here. And this. We'll change this as well. Bring that down, out. Do tile or channels as well. Scale it right. Nope. On the bottom, please. On the okay, never mind. You. There we go. I'm going to tuck him in like that. And then what do we want? Full flow stage methalox. It could be bigger for sure. Let's do 130. That looks good. And then what I'm going to do with this guy, he can stay. Add, actually, hold on. Let's check the performance real quick. That's just at a 1-to-1 thrust to weight ratio. Right there. Tinker panel. No, advanced part settings, fuel line. Does that change it at all? Methalox. Why is this? Hold on. That's super weird. Why is this showing so low? And then the Dragon engine intercept. Interesting. Why is that such a low delta V? Do I need to do Methalox and fill that up? Will that fix it? Yeah, that fixed it. Okay. So we're going to Okay, there we go. We got 5,000 meters per second of delta V just with that in a 1-to-1 thrust-to-weight ratio. That's pretty good starting off, but we're going to do some boosters to make that even better. Let's find the 0 right there. And we're going to do our solid rocket boosters for this rocket. So let's bring it down to about there. About there. Is that lined up? One. Nope, nope, too far. Oh, there we go. Engines. So we've got the Ifrit solid rocket booster right there. And if I do 6-way symmetry with this guy, what is that going to get me? 2.76. That's not too bad. What's the burn time on these engines? Performance analyzer. There it is. Analyze performance. Burn time for that engine. Hold on. If I set these up. Yeah, this first stage has a burn time of 5.6 minutes. No. Stage 1. Burn time 35 seconds. That's low. We can make that a little longer. Let's lengthen these boosters a little bit. And just make it ever so slightly wider. Go with 1.2. There we go. So we've got a burn time of about a minute, which is better. Shrink those, or bring those back down flush. There we go. So minute-long burn time, that's not bad. Let's do the tops of these boosters now. Should I do separating engines or solids are broken in the beta? What's wrong? Oh, no. No, don't tell me the solid rockets are broken. Don't tell me that. I just put them on my rocket. And you're telling me they're broken? Oh, it's just the Ifrit. All right. Someone said, Pedro says all solids. I don't know if he meant all solids. Someone else said just the Ifrit engine. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go with the Echo. We're going to just tuck it into the bottom of these engines like so. You told me before, but I missed it. It's very possible. The chat is very small on my screen, and I've got to like be actively reading it, or I will miss messages. That happens. We're gonna try it with the solid rocket boosters. Gotcha. Okay. Well, we will endure it. It should if it's the same or the same error we were encountering earlier, then it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter because as soon as I stage, it'll activate, then it's fine. Like it's activated. And these are just going to be boosters. So they might be broken, but they're not going to like prevent this from working. Hopefully. That's my thought process at least. So let's smooth these out. Both. Nice. Okay, so we've got our solid rocket boosters here. We've got our core. We've got our upper stage with a nuclear engine, which reminds me I need to make sure that the fuel types for these are all set. Liquid hydrogen should be. Oh, do I need to do advanced fuel line? Does that fix it? So we've got 2,000 meters per second of delta V with this upper stage, which means I need to make this, whoops, didn't mean to do that, hold on. I need to make this upper stage a lot longer. It's not very heavy because it's a liquid hydrogen fuel, which is super low density, which is good. Let's try this. Let's make it like 12 meters. There we go. So we got a nice long boy for an upper stage. Why is that not connecting? Sir? Sir? Excuse me, sir. What the heck? All right. There we go. Okay. So now with this kind of ridiculously long upper stage, what do we have to work with here? Let's get our staging squared away. So we have 7 engines on the bottom, 6 side interstages, an upper interstage, this guy, and then the fairing separation. We have 9,000 meters per second of delta V, 3,000 in the upper stage. That's not terrible, but it's not great. One thing we can do is, let's change the fuel type of this. This was liquid hydrogen. Let's do water. Yeah, so that gives us more delta V, but the water is super high density. Let's shrink this back down to like 8. Connect, connect, turn the auto stage off. Ah, darn it. Okay. Okay, that's a little better. We've got 11.2 kilometers per second delta V. We still have a 2.0 thrust to weight ratio, which is good off the launch pad. That's not bad. All right, I think we'll roll with this for our launcher. That's pretty simple, pretty straightforward design. We'll tweak the aesthetics a little bit, but I don't want to spend too much time on the launcher because the launcher gets discarded. The launcher is not important. What matters most by far in this mission is going to be the final stage. So for our base, what do we need to make it look as good as possible? Let's start by adding another command chip. Set that as the primary. We're going to start working on this guy for now. We're just going to set that launcher. That whole thing we just did, we're setting it aside. We're not looking at that anymore for now. Let's start building the lander. So the first and probably only good suggestion I got for lander design was something like the Jamestown, which I am totally down to use the Jamestown design for the lander. So let's do it. First thing we're going to need is a battery. I know that right away we're going to need a battery, so I'm going to go ahead and add that now. We'll do a meter diameter and 20 centimeters wide. That is going to give us plenty of juice for this mission. So we'll leave it there. Now we need a rest of the craft, which I'm going to put there, I guess. That should work. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Because the Jamestown is kind of like a can on its side. Hold on. I don't adjust that. I just want to adjust you. So if we do 1.5 meter radius, that's 3 meters in diameter. Let's do like a 1.7 meter radius. Just slightly bigger. We'll scoot that up. What should we do? Let's do no texture for now. We'll come back and texture it in a minute. We should make it longer though, shouldn't we? We could do 7. Oh, what just happened? What just happened? What was that? What did I do? Shoot. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Did I just undo everything just there? Are you freaking kidding? That hurts physically. Is this glitching out now? Yeah, it is. Frickin' betas, man. Beta version of the game. Always busting my balls. Alright. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm not redoing all that work. So here's what we're gonna do. ISS. I'm gonna pull up an old build. We're not repeating all that. Oh, I use stock engine overall too much, man. Do I have anything not modded? That's a plane. That's not what I want. That's also not what I want. That's a submarine. Not what I want. Not what I want. Community systems launcher. That's right. I do have this guy on standby, don't I? Does it have the lift force? Nope. Not even close. Or the Delta V for that matter. It's got... Oh, but this is fully loaded. Toss that and that. What are we looking at? 9,000. Okay. We're going to just modify this to work for the mission for now, because that's easier than trying to rebuild everything. This also looks a little better. It's a little bit more put together, older rocket anyway. Yeah, undo button didn't do it there, bud. I wish it did, but it did not fix the problem. Solids are still busted, but that's fine. These were Carolox engines. That's fine, I guess. We can do Carolox engines. Let's make this first stage a little taller, though. Bring it out to 21 meters. And then I guess we can do 6 of these again. Go back to the original design there. That can sit there. That's fine. Thrust to weight ratio is looking okay. Yeah, I'll do a bug report. I am probably not going to mid-game do that, but I will report a bug for sure. All right, everyone, we're going to report a bug for the devs here. Let's get a pretty picture of this rocket for the bug report, even though it's totally unrelated. Builder reset to stock craft for some, we'll say randomly. There we go. While building a rocket during a live stream of all times and places, my builder or editor bugged out and reset to the stock rocket. The undo button did not work to restore my progress. We'll leave it at that. Should I include all? Yeah, we'll include the other one. Also, the add parts tab stayed open and had to be shut manually after switching to the tools tab. That's a 2-for-1. 2 bugs in one go. Boom. And now I don't need to see my bug report on the website. Awesome. All right. Excalibur's heading out. Excalibur, thank you for showing up to the live stream. Hope you have a good night. Blueberry Fox, can you do a tutorial showing how to make planets on Simple Rockets 2? I could if I knew how to build planets, but I don't, so I'm not going to. But if you are interested in a tutorial series on Planet Studio, someone has already done one. The name eludes me right now. Who did it? I watched his videos. Okay. There is a existing tutorials series on how to do Planet Studio. It's a lot better than anything I could do. I recommend you watch that. Nothing I do is really going to be any good because I just don't know Planet Studio all that well. It's not what I'm interested in. It's not what I do. Here's what I want to do. I want to go back to what we were doing, which is building the module. We can tweak this launch vehicle a little bit more later. Nova Aerospace, I wonder why you have the option to make a bug report unlisted. Unlisted bug reports are only visible to the devs, so I don't know, maybe if you just don't want a ton of bug reports bogging down your like profile, then you would do an unlisted bug report. That's my thought. I don't actually know the answer to that question, but that would be my guess. Okay, so we have our battery pack. That's great. Let's actually make it a battery pack though. There we go. I'm gonna add the next fuel tank. We're doing exactly what we were doing before the crash. That's all we're doing. Let's make this longer now. Let's go 8 meters. And how wide? I think we said 1.7. That looks pretty good. We'll roll that over and poke it up right there. Okay. Now we need to build the actual engine modules. Here's what I'm going to do. I've changed my mind actually on the length of this. I'm going to do 6 meters. And here's why. I'm going to add a meter to either side, basically. Oh, hold on. Shoot. Undo. There we go. Part connections. fuel tank, bottom shell, and bottom add connection, surface connect. There we go. Now I can add parts to either side. Perfect. Let's go over here, make that 1 meter long, copy it, and add it to the other side. So we've got two 1 meter long segments on either side. And the reason we're going to do it this way is I can duplicate things more accurately if I do it on one side, then copy the whole thing over. So let's start there. I'm going to build another fuel tank. It's going to be smaller, significantly smaller. That's going to be empty. I'll have these fuel tanks on the end have fuel in them. Will the base have an interior? No, it will not. I don't like building interiors to things. It's just, it bores the tears out of me, and I don't care about it. It boggles my mind the things that people in the Simple Rockets 2 community will waste hours on and then never actually like learn anything about space. It'll be like, oh, what's a good example? I mean, the best example is building interiors to things that don't need them. And then they'll be like, oh, I built, here's my custom, full 2-scale interior of the Apollo 11 module. I have no idea how physics works, and if you ask me anything about space, I can't answer you, but I can build this like 2-scale model of the Apollo 11 capsule. It's like, that's cool, but not useful. And I don't know. I just don't think they look good. They lag my computer. If you want to do one that's good, it lags my computer. It's just not worth it in my mind. I don't think interiors are all that worth it. If Jundru wanted to do interiors and like make that a thing, kind of like how KSP has it, that'd be super cool. Stock interiors for the modules. I don't know how they would do it because everything's procedural already, which is going to make things weird. But I don't know. Whatever. So here is what we're going to do. We want a smaller engine. We'll go with the... No, not that one. Not the Pixie. The Mage? We'll start with the Mage. Hold on, everyone. Hold on 1 second. I was waiting for a text. Okay. I got to respond to this text real quick. Send. All right, cool. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, we're building these engines. What kind of engines do we want for these? That's the question. Small engines, but fast engines. The electric wouldn't be bad. Let's bring the throat size down and the bell out a little bit. Actually, let's go for the Delta. I like the Delta a lot as a design. Shrink that down. Okay, if I mirror symmetry this, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so we'll do that. And let's do the landing legs next. What do we want to do for our landing legs? The piston leg might be the good one. A good one for this. Let's see how it looks. That's as big as it is, huh? Oh, no, we can make it bigger. Yeah, there we go. That's better. All right, so we've got those legs. We can bring the angle out. We can also bring them down. Because we can bring them down to like right here. Should be fine. And then I want a nice wide base. We need our module to have a nice wide base. You can also scoot these up and in a little bit. How's that look? And then what I'll do is I'll put the hatch. We'll put the hatch right in the middle of this module. Yeah, that might be a good start. Should we change something about this? I don't like how this looks particularly. We're going to do this. Mass scale down to 0. This is just going to be an aesthetic part, and we're going to do another aesthetic part right here. I'm going to bridge the gap between these two. We'll rotate this around. put it down. Nope, part connection tool. I guess I have to pick some. Yeah, okay. Surface, that's fine. Connect. Lengthen. Scoot over. No. Undo. Undo that. And let's see, we can put this right there. Is that about centered? That's centered. Let's go to the part shape tool now, and I'm going to make this wider. Like that. And just one more up. No, I've changed my mind. That's a stupid design. What am I doing? Knock it off. That's dumb. That's a bad design. I don't like that anymore. It's fine. It's fine as is. We'll shrink these down, make them a little flatter, but then leave it. And then I'll add inner stages on the bottom of these as an engine shroud. Like that. And we're going to limit the gimbal on these to like 5 degrees so it doesn't hit the shroud. Do you not agree aesthetic parts should still have mass? They should, as long as the mass makes sense, and not all, like, the masses on a lot of parts in simple rockets don't make sense. Although I'm going to actually change this to be a fuel tank. There we go. Let's see, tinker panel, no, part style, there it is. Let's do that. That looks good. Okay, now this whole thing I should be able to copy. I'm going to undo that connection. Move that over. Oh, wait, no. Mistake. Bad idea. Rotate this. And we're going to rotate this. Nope, also a mistake. Connected. There we go. Rotate the whole thing around. Wait, did I rotate the whole thing around? Oh, it's not connected. Okay. Undo. Part connections. Undo. Undo. Part connections. How many times do I have to hit the undo button? Okay, never mind. Start over. We're going to grab that, swing it around 180 degrees, this time for real. There we go. And slap that onto the other side of the module. Okay, so those are our engines. What's our thrust to weight ratio? 0.64, that's not bad. We also have 1,000 meters per second, not bad. That's not terrible to start. What can we do to improve that, though? 1,000 kilograms, that makes sense. That'll make sense. Oh, hold on. Let's make sure fuel line is enabled on all these parts, because that would be a darn shame, wouldn't it? Hey, there we go. That changed the meters per second a lot, didn't it? Fuel line enabled on all of these parts. There we go. 4,388 meters per second. So all of those are now getting the right amount of fuel. Fuel line enabled. Fuel line enabled. Fuel line enabled. Fuel line enabled. Okay. That is much better. Okay, so this is the basis of our lander module. We've got 4 engines, 4 landing gear, and the main housing space on the rocket. Also, I forgot I had that extra one there. There we go. 4,187 meters per second. Not bad, not bad. That will be plenty. Yeah, turns auto stage off. Thank you for reminding me to do that, especially before the staging gets complicated. Okay, let's look at what else we need. Someone said a communications dish, and I 100% agree. A lander like this without a communications dish would just be ill-equipped, right? So we're going to need I want 2 things. Communications dish for directional communications with satellites, and we We could do a dipole antenna, or we could just have a single whip antenna. We could do multiple. It might actually be worth doing multiple. Like, it would make sense a station like this would have a couple of different antennas, a couple of different radios operating, different bandwidths and stuff. So we'll have this, we'll let this be 3 meters long, and we'll make it thinner. How much does this weigh? 10 kilograms. All right. I know from experience, that shouldn't weigh that much for that antenna. So we're going to tinker the mass down to like 4 kilograms. That's about right. Antennas are crazy light. Rocket Crazy said Windows. We are not going to forget Windows. Do not worry about that. Windows is on my mind. Specifically, Windows 10 is on my mind. Not Windows XP, Windows 10. Okay, shrink that down. We're going to have a little end cap for the antenna, which is actually very important. You want to cap your antennas. Little known fact, if you don't cap an antenna, like I'm doing, you can have weird, like, electrical things go on. Don't want any fuel in this. Nope. Oh, hold on. I wasn't thinking. Let's not do that. Let's just leave that as is. This is going to be on its side. We're going to need these to deploy. And if we're going to deploy these, then we're going to need a hinge. Yeah, because if it's just sticking out, it's going to hit the fairing. That's a bad idea. Let's see. We need a hinge. 360. Set that there. 90 degrees. That's fine. We'll have slider 1 be... We'll have activation group 1 and slider 1 be all of those things. Let's rotate this antenna. Lower it right there. And scoot it along. So the antenna will sit along the base of the rocket like that. We'll have it have no base style. And let's shrink it down. It does not need to be very big at all. That's pretty good. Okay, next up, we want our directional dish, which I will set on the other side of the rocket. We're going to use another strut as our anchoring point. Why not just use a piston as an antenna? I don't love the shape of the piston for all types of antennas. I will use a piston for this directional dish antenna because it makes more sense and it looks a little better, because a dish antenna has the shaft and then it has the actual receiver, which the end of the piston kind of looks like a receiver, and I use it for that. But what we're going to do for this one is I'm going to actually have it rotate. We're going to throw an electric motor on this. Does not need to be a big electric motor. In fact, it needs to be a small electric motor. It's going to have an RPM of 10 revolutions per minute is almost too fast. So I'm going to go to Tinker Panel, and we're going to enable Edit Hidden Properties. Electric motor, RPMs, we're going to bring that down. What's a good RPMs? 3 revolutions per minute? Apply. Close. There we go. So this will rotate at 3 revolutions per minute. Sound volume, I don't want to hear it. Torque, low torque. It's a very, very small motor moving a very small object. Shrink that down. We're going to add another strut on top of this. A little narrower, but it's going to be cylindrical. And let's do the insulation. Insulation for that as well. Actually, we're going to make both of these cylindrical. There we go. There we go. Paint that white so it blends in better. There we go. All right. Paint both of these white. Lower this down. We're going to reduce the gap. That gap is ridiculous. That is too much, though. Okay. There we go. Let's widen that just a bit, actually. Okay, now I want to hinge on top of that. We're going to make it small and no base. Then another strut. But this time I'm going to put it all the way in like that. And let's see, let's get rid of the texture, or no, let's do that texture. Add a fuel tank. Okay, that didn't work. Maybe I had a fuel tank like that. There we go. No mass. And we're going to tinker the mass on this one again because 41 kilograms is just ridiculously heavy. But I'm going to... No. I'm resisting the urge to use my overload mod. Edit hidden properties. Inlet-2. Apply. There we go. So I'm using a fuel tank as an inlet so I don't have to deal with the weird aerodynamics of inlets. We're going to make a hyperbolic dish here, so let's do that. And then steeper. Bring that in just a little bit. And that. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's get rid of all the textures on this. I don't like it. I don't want it. No textures, please. And thank you. Okay. Now, what else do I want to add? I just realized that because I'm using these dishes, I need to add the piston first, I think. So let's do that. Electric piston. So this will be our dish. It does not need to be big at all. But it needs more range. Actually, maybe increase the size just a bit. That's fine. Shrink that down. Part connections. Oh, shoot, that's right. How do we do this? How do we do this? Base. Connect that to the surface. There we go. Bingo. All right, perfect. That's sitting there. And have that be push. That's activation group 1, slider 1 as well. This one I'm going to have be slider 2. And this will be slider 3 on activation group 1, all of these. Okay, so that gives us our hyperbolic dish, gives us our whip antenna, and we'll have a couple static dipoles on the sides. So for the dipoles, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this strut here, shrink it way down, nice and small, and then I'm going to copy this fuel tank. No, this fuel tank. Do the same thing, shrink it down, widen it, and we'll put it on the strut like that. And then let's copy these over, one there and one there. They do not need to be that long. Boom, welcome to the live stream. Sorry you can't stick around. It's always good to see you. I'm glad you were able to check in. Hello, how are you doing? Considering the weight of the fuel tanks and the struts, the stuff in game, I can only guess they would be made out of stainless steel in real life. Feels like it sometimes, doesn't it? Yeah, it feels like they're made out of stainless steel. It is some heavy stuff. Shrink that down. Dipoles, chemistry moment. Yes, well, in this case, this is a radio moment. So a dipole antenna is a antenna with two poles, literally. So you've got two poles, two things sticking out. That creates a dipole. They are good for high-frequency communications. And we're going to stick it on there like that. Oh, shoot. Undo. Let's stick it on there like that. And I guess we can leave that as a battery, huh? That's probably fine. The extra juice wouldn't hurt, I bet. Let's get rid of the texture. Okay, so that will be one, and then we're going to mirror this whole assembly right here. Mirror it over. Okay, so we've got two dipole antennas, a dish, and the whip. That is plenty of communications equipment for this commo guy. Actually, yes, I am. I recently got radio certified. So all of this stuff is like kind of fresh in my mind, and it's fun. It's fun to know a little bit about things. I like knowing things. Commo's important. Especially in spaceflight. Commo is the most important thing in spaceflight. We've got lights. Let's put them on activation group 2 and get rid of their bases. Make them square. Yeah, we can make them square. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's do a little aesthetics work here. Let's do a metal finish on all of these guys. Okay, that looks a little better. Let's take it all the way up to metal, and then not quite that smooth, but a little bit smoother, and knock the detail down. Let's actually add some texture here. I was thinking the panels and do like a 3x3 like that, and then go back to this, and again, bring the detail. Wait, no, not on this one. Wrong one. This one. Bring the detail down a bit. That looks better. Let's actually do the ends white. Nope, changed my mind. Sticking with the metal on those. Let's do the engines white though, like that. Also for the bottom of these, do gold foil trim on all of those guys instead of the blue. I don't know why they don't default to the blue. It looks better. That looks pretty good there, and then let's go to panels on this one as well. Panels and hexagonal. All right, that looks pretty good. Please don't have it shiny, please. Well, the Jamestown lander was shiny. It was a stainless. Excuse me. It was a shiny rocket. I don't know. Something's missing here. Let's boost the texture tiling in the Y direction a little bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's do, for these guys, let's do a dark one, and then primary. No, actually, I'm going to reverse that. Trim one will be the dark one. And then the primary will do the light gray. That looks better. Okay. I think that's good enough for that. Now we need the hatch and the windows. Hatch and windows. So we'll do one hatch, two sets of windows. For the hatch, here's what I'm thinking. 2.7, that's fine. We're going to shrink that down. We'll do a 1 meter width cylinder like that. Just getting rid of my mass scale entirely. No mass required for this. Oh, hold on. No, we're not going to do that. Get rid of that. I hate you. Get rid of you. Crew cabin. Bingo. We've got a XML edited fuel tank that has a bunch of druids you can stick in it. And I'm going to get rid of all of them first. We'll put our own druids in there. We'll let you guys fly this mission. I'll need some brave volunteers for this mission. We don't need any fuel. I don't want any gyroscope on this, and Tinker Panel mass goes to 0. This is just aesthetic. It gives us an entry point. That's all I want right now. 1 meter. So let's take our scaling back to 10 centimeters instead of 1 centimeter. That was getting frustrating really quickly. Okay, we've got our guy aligned. Let's tuck him in. So this will be our guy here. 2 meters for the hatch. Let's do that, but then let's actually go down with the tiling here. Right about there. That looks good. Okay. All right. Strut. Right there. There we go. Shrink that. Shrink it. There we go. All right, so we want windows, right? This will be the basis of our window design right here. Actually, bring you out a little bit. Tinker panel again. All of this, and the reason that I want the door specifically to have 0 mass is it's going to be asymmetrical, and I don't want that to mess with my center of mass without it being a nightmare. So we're going to do some not cheating. We're just making sure that we don't accidentally make this so much harder on ourselves than it has to be. That's what we're doing right now. Okay, so this will be our window, kind of like not the window itself, but the base of the window. And then I will have this guy be just ever so slightly not as wide. And then we'll do 0.05 for the width. And we'll do the super black and glossy. Actually, no, not super black and glossy. Pardon me. We're going to make our own special color. We'll do like that. Custom. We're going to add just a little transparency to it. And then like 15% emission. And then smooth. Like that. Just tuck it in there like that. Okay, so what that'll do is that'll glow. That's going to glow ever so slightly. And it's going to give the illusion of there being like an interior to the rocket. That's what we're going for with that design. We'll make a couple more of these windows. I'm going to go 0.1. And we'll tuck them in like that. We'll do a couple of these. 1, 2. 2. 2. I feel like that sticks out more. Why do you stick out more, sir? Are those flush? Yeah, okay, that's flush. So we'll have those there, and then we'll replicate it on the other side as well. I want to also make sure that this is lined up properly. And I'm using the panels texture as kind of the guide here. 1145, 1148, 48. There we go. Now that's centered. Copy and paste this over onto this side. Just like that. So that's one. Parse that in there. And then the next one was ever so slightly off center on this guy right here. Poke him in. Okay, and then we'll just do mirror symmetry on all of these, so they're on both sides, and that will be our windows for the lander. That looks pretty good. We will add one more window right where the other guy wasn't. Right here. 13.48, right there, perfect. And tuck him in as well. So we've got windows on that side, windows on that side, a door. All right, we need a ladder. Adjust the width of the door. Yeah, we could do that a little bit. So here's what I can do. 0.5. Nope, wrong one. 2. 0.5. No, 2. Which one is it? I want it to be wide. One. Okay, yeah, is that one? 1, 1. There we go. Just this part, we'll scoot it out. You're thinking kind of like that, where it's a little bit more in line. Is that what you had in mind, Nova? I think so. That looks maybe a little better. Okay, we'll go with that. We need a ladder. Here's kind of my idea for the ladder. I've got an idea. feel like that's too many windows. I could take one out and have 4 instead of 8. I don't know. We'll leave it for now. That doesn't look too bad. Here's what I'm gonna do for the ladder. We're gonna rotate. I guess that's fine where it is. Rotate this around. Nope. This way. Yep. We're gonna make it real small. And maybe a little longer. Hold on. I want it to get most of the way, but not all the way to the ground, and the angle needs to be like pretty vertical. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's copy and paste this here. Rotate. And scoot these off to the side just a bit. Oh, this isn't set. This texture isn't centered either. Okay, that's close enough. And we're gonna have these guys. They're not gonna be an activation, or they're gonna have an activation group, I should say. Let's do 2. No, that's the landing. Let's do 3 for the ladder. So those will deploy like that. Yeah, ladders would be nice, like actual ladders that they could climb. We'll have these be the ladders. It doesn't really look like a ladder, and I know that, but it'll get the job done, you know. I'm not looking for anything magical here. Just you know, trying to keep the part count relatively low without breaking the bank here. Tuck these in. Okay. That doesn't look too bad overall. I'm going to do shiny paint all the way for these. All right. How does that look for our mobile base? Are we happy with that? Do we think that design looks good? Any input from the chat here? Now is your chance. Chime in. What do you think? I'm going to take a drink from my juice here while you guys decide. Is there anything else we need to add to this? Wet my whistle a bit. Should probably add an astronaut for sure. Oh, we're landing on a planet with an atmosphere. What does that mean I should add? Telescopic ladders would be nice. They would. They certainly would. I'm going to add a parachute. That's what I'm going to add. Got a parachute here. This is our parachute. Base size, I don't want to change. Cord length, let's make it longer. Parachute height, inflated radius. It's like a nice big parachute. Do horizontal stripes. Oh, hold on. Stay deployed. Can you stay deployed for me? Maybe not. Okay. Deployment airspeed. So this is air density. I'm going to have them pretty high because Nebra has a thinner atmosphere, I think. But we'll have it like that. Deflated radius will be just a little wider, kind of like that. That'll be it for that. Let's add our drogue chutes. Another essential part here. Vertically striped. Again, we're going to do pretty high in the atmosphere. We'll let those inflate. And I think we'll leave those stats alone for now, except I want to do all black for the drogue chute. And all white for the main parachute. Nope. Oh, didn't want to do that. No siree, did not want to do that. Go back. Thank you. Okay, copy this drogue chute. We'll add him over to the other side. Perfect. All right, so this is the lander. You can easily keep track, move parts around, keeping them symmetrical. Does anyone else build like this? And then just the parachutes, it will adapt to Nebra. What did Pedro say? Open the performance analyzer. Oh, of course it does, doesn't it? Open the performance analyzer. Where's Nebra? There's Nebra. And look at that. It has all of the stuff right there. Perfect. Okay. Thank you. That is super helpful that this updates with the planet you're looking at. Max deployment speed. I want to bring that up to 1,500 meters per second. We'll come in pretty hot. That's fine. Max deployment speed for that, 320 meters per second. Again, let's bump that up just a little higher. Okay, so for our opening altitudes, I want it to inflate at 2 kilometers up. We'll have it deploy at like 6 kilometers. And then this one, we'll have it inflate at 10, open at 40. So they'll start slowing us down right away. I'm going to delete that and make a copy of the guide that I just edited. Slap them on there. All right, so I think this is our lander for now. I'm pretty happy with this. I think this looks pretty good. Now we just need to figure out how to attach it to this rocket and make sure our center of mass is not too funky. It really does look like our center of mass is ever so slightly low, which is kind of to be expected. Okay, so if our center of lift is ever so slightly low, we're going to want to shift maybe like 5 centimeters, like up 5 centimeters this way on it when we actually put it on the rocket. Okay, let's go back to here and find the command ship. I always put the command ship right there. Makes it easy to find. You can get to it, that is. Set that as the primary. I'm going to group that, and we're going to turn off everything but this guy. And this is how we're going to pack it into the rocket. Just like that. Okay, so what am I saying? First off, it's not going to fit as originally planned. We're going to need to change the fairings. That's okay. Let's change the fairings to fit this guy. It's going to be a little silly looking, but we're going to make it work. Auto resize parts, please. Thank you. 4 meters. Yep. 5, and for this guy, 7, 9. All right, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense as a rocket, right, guys? Right? Can we make this any narrower, any less stupid looking? No, I don't think we can. Hold on, let's make this just. It's the landing gear. Okay, I don't want it to clip. We'll go back to 4. That's fine. Four meters long. Wow. All right, that is a design, ain't it? Well, again, it's a good thing that we don't have to put up the launcher for very long. It's just going to look like that. That's okay. All of my staging is jacked up big time, isn't it? Okay, add stage. Parachutes are going to go at the very end, as well as landing legs and these top 4 engines. Okay, so we have 3,513 meters per second of thrust with those guys. 6 interstages, the fairing base, then an interstage and the Mage engine there, which let's evaluate. Is this sufficient as an engine? Let's go Methalox and full flow staged for this guy. And size him up a little bit. Bring his bell down. Okay, how does that look? I could make it thicker. That's an option, right? I can make this whole thing wider. Let's try that, because the proportions on this are questionable at best right now. Okay, so we'll do 1, 2, 3. Let's go out to that, to 5. No, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it all the way out to 5 for everything first. 5. Grab it. 5. Okay. Does that make it look less ridiculous? Not really. Let's change some parameters then. Let's make it longer for 1. Shoot. I should probably zoom in so I actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, that looks better. Like that. Like that. And then how long is this? How long is this guy? Let's bring him out longer. Make it bigger. Okay, okay. Many redesigns are happening to this thing right now. As you can see, we're trying to make it look less like an absolute abomination. That helped. This upper stage is too small, though. I think that's the problem now. Give this some fuel, and let's make that a little longer. 270. 6-way symmetry on this part. What do you... Oh, hold on. What? Oh, come on. I hate this part. I hate it when this happens. Go back. Okay. Group. Here's what you do. If you're ever having issues when like connecting things sideways on tanks and it does that, group the parts and turn everything off except for the connection of your side interstage. That does the trick every time. So 6-way symmetry on these solid rocket boosters. That looks a lot better. It looks a lot better. We're making progress, everyone. The rocket looks less like an absolute nightmare, a horror sent from God to torment me. It looks less like that and more like an actual rocket, and that's progress. It's progress I can work with. Let's make this longer. 8 meters is a good starting point. All right, Delta V now. Not enough. That's not enough Delta V. It looks better as a rocket. Let's see here. We've got the 8 engines, 6 interstage, and then this guy only 2,000. All right. Let's take this off. Add another meter of fuel tank. What if 64 times radial booster, like 64 times symmetry? That'd be a nightmare too, wouldn't it? Nozzle throat size, decrease the nozzle throat size down to 60%. Let's widen that and widen that. And then tuck this up just a little bit more. Lengthen that, shrink it down. Okay. Performance now. We bought ourselves a little bit more performance. Yeah, 3,000 meters per second up there. Almost at 7,000 meters per second. We need more. We need more Delta V, everyone. Nope, I didn't ungroup that, did I? Nope, I did not. Ungroup. Part connections, all off, all on. Let's make these boosters longer, shall we? Let's get a little bit more boost out of these, huh? Let's take these up to 20 meters in length. Right there. Add the end caps. See where we're standing now. Are we better off? Oh, we're that added like 100 meters per second. Not enough. Not enough. Here's a thought. While I'm here, Let's go to 7 and 6. Nope. Okay. 8 and 5. Okay, so that's going to have to be 8.5, 8.6, 8.7. Okay, that looks a little better, a little shorter. I don't know. What's our thrust weight ratio on the pad? 2.91. Okay, what if, let's look at our first stage. Can we increase the performance of our first stage in any meaningful way? Decrease the nozzle. That brings us up to 7,000. Is 7,000 enough? We're also, it's not showing the delta V of this upper stage. So we do have a little bit more delta V in this upper stage, which is good. We actually have more delta V in the upper stage of this lander than we need. Oh, that's it. We have more delta V in the upper stage of the lander than we need. So let's take a little bit of the fuel out of it, shall we? Decrease the mass of the payload to increase the delta V of your rocket. Shrink that down. Shrink that down, I said. Thank you. Oh, undo that. I wanted to make this just a little bit wider. There we go. Okay, where does that bring us? Another 200 meters per second. Okay, we're making progress. Methalox. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Is 7,200 meters per second going to cut it, is the question. Let's add a program to this. I'm going to load up. We're going to load up the Kelly auto launch onto this bad boy, because that's a good standard auto launch program to have. Try to maximize fuel efficiency with this launch here. It's an automated system as opposed to me trying to fly it manually. We could go with the Delta nozzles. No, I like the Alpha. The Alpha nozzles actually perform really well. Okay, should we try it as is and see if we can get it? It might be worth just going for it, you know. Let's add those on their own activation group. Oh, and then hold on. There is one thing I want to do before we kick this off. Okay. Use default pilot orientation, no. Adjust pilot orientation. Sit up, will ya? There we go. Because I don't want my controls to be all screwy. I want him to be pointing up. Yes. Okay. You know what? Let's send it. Let me check my staging one more time. We've got our 2 main Mage engines and our solid rocket boosters. Solid rocket boosters stage away. The staging. Hold on. I'm going to adjust. There is one thing here. I'm going to make these a little different. Go up, 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 like that. That should stage them away a little cleaner. Let's also increase the size just a bit. Okay, back to this. Okay, side stages, fairing goes off. That should be close to out of atmosphere at that point. Fairing base goes off. Second stage lights. Inner stage to release the payload, and then the payload flies. And we need astronauts. That is right. We need astronauts. All right. Who is going to be, not who are, who is going to be our brave crew? We've got 3 seats available on this mission. We need 3 crew members. I'm going to pull them out right now. Let's throw them out. Tarian, you gave me a lot of help with this. So I think we're going to give one of the seats to Tarian for her help. Spaceman Tarian. All right, we've got 1 Druid astronaut ready to go. Spaceman Tarian is ready. I need volunteers. Who will volunteer? Any takers? I need someone to volunteer. You can buy your way. If you become a member of the ISS channel right now, you buy yourself a membership onto this flight. Gamer Dulo says he wants to be a member. We'll copy this guy over. Gamer Dulo. All caps, isn't it? Gamer Dulo. All right, so we've got Gamer Dulo. Someone else volunteer. Nova gets a ride. All right, I see Nova, Gamer Dulo, and Tarian. Thank you for volunteering for this mission, you brave souls. Hopefully, you will not die. Is there anything we want to change with the aesthetics of you guys? That looks a little better. I kind of like that. Gray a little bit. Okay, I like those looks. That's a good kind of muted tone here. Oh, hold on. I forgot that the crew cabin's a little funky on this. All right, we're gonna have to add these guys in after the fact. Gamer Dulo, Spaceman Tyrion, and we had Nova. Nova Aerospace. Nope, that's a B. Nova Aerospace. All right, that is our intrepid crew ready to launch. Let's make sure my launch location is correct. The Drew launch pad, select. Let's put them out there. Rocket Crazy, you'll get on the next one. Rocket Crazy, you can be ground control. You're our ground control man. You are running the mission from Drew. That'll be your role for this mission. Thank you for volunteering. There is certainly some funkiness with the engines already, but we're not burning fuel and we're not... Yeah, that's fine. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pause the game. As annoying as that bug is... Oh, I'm too far away. What do you mean I'm too far away? Can I get in now? How about now? Will you let me in now? All right. We're running into some complications. What I do is put an invisible capsule. Yeah, I could do an invisible capsule. That wouldn't be the worst idea, honestly. I want to do it this way because it lets me actually select the door of the capsule and then enter the capsule from the door, and I like being able to do that. But I forgot that because these are XML edited, they're a little buggy in how they treat astronauts, because the astronauts clip to them the same way that they would clip to a fuel tank, not a capsule. Which makes sense because it's a fuel tank. So the astronaut part is treating it like a fuel tank instead of a capsule, even though I'm treating it like a capsule instead of a fuel tank. So that is the dilemma we are in. I'm going to put the astronauts here. And then we'll put the fairing on around them. If it'll let me. If it will let... No! No, no, no. Stop. Stop. There we go. It's on there. We're good. You could try attaching the astronauts to the fuel tank surface. Won't work. Won't work, unfortunately. I can confirm I've tried it. Okay, but they should be sitting in here now. They are. Excellent. Take control of this guy. Camera. Where is he? Where is he? Enter. There we go. All right, so they're close enough now I can actually put them in the rocket. Here's Tarian. Tarian is entering the rocket now. Gamer Dulo is in. Tarian is in. And the last man to board is stuck down there. Nova, you are right there. Enter. All right, our crew has boarded the rocket. We're generating a ton of smoke for no reason. I'm going to go ahead and launch. Program start. T-minus 10 seconds. T-minus 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are off. And that is just a little loud for my taste. Hold on. 1 second. We're just gonna turn the volume down. Why are we not lifting off? Why did our thrust to weight ratio get so bad? When did that happen? It said I had a great thrust to weight ratio. What? Why is my thrust to weight ratio so bad? What is this nonsense? All right. Let's see. That's going to waste a ton of fuel. All right, we're off. TWR of 1.3. We're climbing now on a TWR. All right. Gravity turn. Let's fast forward through this launch. That was kind of a dumb way to start. Boosters separated and are flying off in each of their individual directions. Just freaking cool. Okay. Okay, so there's some... Okay, all right. So there's some bugs. There are some bugs here. Did I just miss something? No, it does have a okay, it has a low thrust to weight ratio. That's fair. You know how we can fix that? 72%. Even higher. Okay, that's going to cut into our total lifting ability, but that will get us off the ground. I can also bring up my SRB size a little bit here and click them in. Are we dead? No, I don't think you're dead, because that was a weird. Man, the Saturn V had better thrust to weight ratio. Yeah, this'll work. This'll work. Okay, I forgot we have to deal with this total crap for no reason. Oh, Nova fell again. Where is the hatch? Where's the hatch? Enter. Okay, that is one crew member on board. Take control of Tarian. Okay, if it will let me. Nope. Ah, shoot. That was a misclick. That was a bad misclick on my part. Take control. Enter. There we go. All right. Take control. And enter. Okay. Throttle up. Let's let the auto launch us. 3, 2, 1. We are off. And we are actually lifting off. That's good. It's good progress. All right. Let's fast forward a little bit just to clear the smoke. We're going. Apoapsis is currently 2,000 meters and climbing. All right, what's our thrust to weight ratio now? Steadily increasing. We're almost to a thrust to weight ratio of 2. Hopefully before the SRBs run out of fuel, we'll have enough thrust to get into orbit. Yeah, we should be fine. All right, here are our SRBs almost out of fuel now. Separating, we have a thrust to weight ratio of almost exactly 1. But that's okay. We're on a trajectory now to where we can afford having that lower thrust to weight ratio. The auto launch script will get us into orbit. I have no doubt about that. Go ahead and let that run. Slowly accelerating here, slowly accelerating. Thrust to weight ratio is climbing steadily. Okay, we're in space. Fairing separation. There is our beautiful lander perched atop the rocket itself. Everything is looking good so far. Okay, we are circularizing our orbit here. Second stage is going. Thrust to weight ratio. Bleh. Thrust to weight ratio of 0.7. Pitching up now. All right, everything is looking good. No explosions this time. Yes, that is the goal. This is the real mission right here. This is the real go for it. Will we get into orbit on this stage? Yes. With about 3-4 minutes of burn time left. That looks pretty good so far. Okay. Circularized. All right, we are in orbit successfully. We have 2,771 meters per second left on the stage. Is that enough? I don't know if that is enough. We're about to find out, though. So let's take a look at Titos. This guy. Target him. Specifically, we'll target Titos at first. And I want to come around the back side of him. But we're gonna go for Nebra specifically. Okay, time warp forward to get to our transfer window, which is going to be close to 90 degrees. Oh no, we ran out of batteries. That's fine. That's fine. We have ways to control the rocket. Center on him. Let's zoom back in our rocket all the way, all the way, all the way. Okay, so I'm going to burn at midnight right there. We're going to set our burn node. Scroll out, keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. There we go. Sensitivity, crank it up just a bit, and go. So planning our burn now. So that is, hold on, dial it back, dial it back. That's how much fuel I have on this stage right here, 2,700 meters per second. So I'm short, short just a little bit. Not even short that much. Okay, we're gonna lock that in. This stage can't complete the burn on its own, but it'll get us going out of the atmosphere at least. Actually, hold on. We're going to have to do this in multiple shots. I just realized this is not going to work. Let's point prograde. Here's what I'm going to do. Throttle up. We're going to have to do multiple burns for the escape here. Okay, that'll be one. Let's come around. Oh, overshot. That's fine. I'm going to hide the craft icon so we can focus on what we're doing here. Throttle up. We're going to let that burn for a while. Okay. Come around. Now let's do our full-on escape burn here. How much fuel do we have left? We have 1,657 units of fuel left. That's fine. Lock. Auto burn. All right, so we're going. I'm going to turn off that. And I'm going to throttle it manually because we're going to have to do some funky stuff here when we switch stages because we have to rotate our engines around and make sure we're pointing the right direction. Okay, let's just time warp, let this burn for a while. That's an interesting bug right there. If I turn this off, it doesn't actually show the amount that I've completed. Huh, we found another bug, everyone. How curious. Okay, we are out of fuel. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and stage. Take control. Point prograde. I don't... No, well, we arm our parachutes, but we don't deploy our parachutes. Throttle up. Okay, so we lost our burn node. That's fine. And we don't have any gyroscopes. No! That'll make this harder. Alright, we're going to have to abort the mission. There's a couple issues we need to address here. Time for gravity assisting? No, I think we can do it. We're going to make some adjustments, though. We're going to make some adjustments to the design. We're going to make this work. We made the rocket bigger. We didn't give it more engines. That's the first thing we did wrong here. We need a higher thrust-to-weight ratio. Pure and simple. We're going to need a higher thrust-to-weight ratio if we want to make this work well. I'm going to get rid of you guys. We do not need those anymore. We're going to widen this a little bit. And then I'm going to add 4 of these because I can. That there. Actually, let's bring that about there. Bring it out. Bring it out. Okay, that looks good. And reattach that. Drop that down. Okay. All right, that is going to give us a little bit more thrust. That's part 1 of this. That's not the end here. So we've got an extra bit of oomph in our engines, which is good. That's progress. Let's translate these solid rocket boosters down to be in line with the engines as well. That's important. There we go. You would just add an additional stage. I could do that. Like a high efficiency, low thrust engine. I could do that. That's one option. I kind of want to do it in 2. I don't know. Here, let's experiment. Well, that is the wrong thing to grab. Every time I grab that, that's the wrong thing to grab. Let's experiment with that idea. Let's run with that for a second. So let's make this then, hypothetically, let's make this our orbital or our transfer stage, right? Let's shrink that down way down. It's just a wee little stage here. We'll keep it pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. I am going to add a mage engine. We'll do a bell nozzle, make it all the way out like that. Make it relatively small. And I'm going to tuck it in like that. Add a stage somewhere between this. That's where this mage engine will sit. Let's add the inner stage for it. Okay. Does not need to be that long. All right. So that's our 3rd booster stage, right? Let's check our staging, see if that gets us there. We've got main stages here, side inner stages. Those go, that's fine. And then those go. Mage. Where's that other inner stage? Are we missing an inner stage here? Side inner stage, side inner stage. Where is this? Where's the inner stage? Where's the inner stage? Oh, there's the inner stage. That's wrong. There we go. 6,867. That's not better, though. That's not better. It's worse. How is that worse? We have a better thrust to weight ratio. So if we've got a better thrust to weight ratio, here's what we can do. Better thrust to weight ratio means we can get this off the ground better. Adjust the boosters again. We need a gyroscope. This is a nightmare of a rocket. Let's just face it, this is a nightmare of a rocket. We need gyroscopes, command and control. Shrink that down. They do not need to be big. Oh, we forgot solar panels. Of all the things, you guys forgot to tell me to put solar panels on this guy. Come on, everyone. No solar panels? What kind of mission do you think we're running here? We need solar panels. Solar panel. We'll put one right there. And we'll put one right there. And then I've got to do this whole thing with the crew again too. This is becoming quite the ordeal, huh? Because no, I can't just like put them in there. No, of course not. Hold on, I made duplicates on accident. Tarian, Nova, Tarian. Okay, you're the duplicate. Go. Is there anything I'm missing? Is there anything I'm missing? Yeah, solar panels wouldn't be very good at Titus's distance, but we still need them. You still have to have them. Let's reposition these though. Make them longer. And just a little bit wider. And mirrored. Okay. Oh, you know what? Here's one thing we never did that I need to do. This whole thing has to be shifted just a little bit in. Okay. If I put this here, hold on, because I shifted that, make that a little narrower, which is nice. Here's what else we can do. Not that. Not that. We've got lights. Yeah, we got lights. Make this shorter, though. Yeah, that does it. Okay. Yeah, solar panels aren't... So, what they were saying about the solar panels not being good for a Titus mission is because Titus is far away from the sun, solar intensity is lower and you have less power generated by your solar panels. It's enough, but it'll be less than, less than we need. So it'll be enough to power the lights and the batteries for short periods of time, but not for like an extended period of time. Okay. Let's try this. Okay, every time I forget that this is jacked up because we're using stock engine overhaul, but that's okay. Take control. Enter. Great. Take control. Before they totally fall, let's take control of this guy. Enter. Okay. Yeah, nuclear power would be like the long-term solution to one of these missions if we were actually to do it. I'm not going to deal with trying to make nuclear power right now. It's not really worth it right now. Okay. Take control, throttle up, there we go. All right, we are starting the mission. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lift off the launch pad. We've got a much better thrust to weight ratio. Should be a lot more efficient getting into orbit with that higher thrust to weight ratio. And we are up. Let's start time warping now just to get through this launch as quickly as possible. Everything's looking nominal on our rocket. So, Nova, you make an interesting point. Oh, shoot, we got a hanger. Hold on. Break free, please. Break free. Break free. There we go. All right, cleared the hangar. Go ahead and deploy fairings. Oh, hold on. Something else fell off. Did we lose something? No, everything's still on the rocket. Okay, we're good. Yeah, Nova. So what you were saying about the reactors is, yeah, it's definitely true. You would need a lot of shielding to be that close to the reactor. I mean, you can be as close to a reactor as you want if there's enough shielding between you and the reactor, and depending on the size of the reactor, that's going to change the amount of shielding required. A fusion reactor is going to generate just as many neutrons as a fission reactor. Well, not quite as many, but a fusion reactor is not smaller or more efficient than a fission reactor as far as like size goes. So a fusion reactor wouldn't. I mean, I'm not saying it wouldn't work for space travel. It would work just as well as a fission reactor would. Maybe a little better because you wouldn't need heavier fuel. I don't know what the math would be. Seeing as fusion reactors don't currently exist, it's hard to make estimations about that. Let's see. All right, we are circularizing. We'll let that run its course. The thing that fell was an astronaut, was it? Whoops. All right, we're down 2. I don't. Why did the other astronaut not join? All right, you know what? We're gonna forget that happened. Yeah, Nova, I'm gonna have to cut you off at the pass there. Fusion reactors do produce radiation like fission reactors, and fission reactors aren't bombs either. They are actually a lot more stable than I think most people realize. It's almost difficult to make a fission reactor explode or melt down in any significant catastrophic way. All right, Tytos lock. Let's see where we are now. Who's died? Tarian died. Tarian aborted the mission early. That's the narrative. Is Tarian aborted the mission. She abandoned her post and jumped off the side of the rocket, basically. All right, let's create our burns here. Or I guess we'll just do this manually, huh? Craft orbits. No, craft icons. Craft orbits go away. All right, we're almost periapsis. Throttle up. We're going to let the engine burn for a little bit here. Throttle down. Go around town. Let's see here. Right, another one. All right, Nova Aerospace. Well, fission reactors blow up most of the time. If they do melt down, well, fusion would just burn out, and that's about it. It is true that a fusion reactor would just burn out. That is true. Fission reactors don't usually blow up when they fail. So the only fission reactor to ever explode, like as we understand the term explode, the only fission reactor to ever explode, to ever blow up, was Chernobyl. That is the only reactor in human history that has ever exploded. And it was a 1 in a million series of bad decisions, bad designs, and poor oversight that caused the failure at Chernobyl. 3 Mile Island, SL1, Fukushima. What were the other big ones? Those are kind of the big three: SL1, Fukushima, and 3 Mile Island. 3 Mile Island was the worst U.S. based power reactor failure. Fukushima, obviously Japan. That's a little bit more recent. Those reactors did not explode. They actually are like the buildings didn't suffer any structural damage whatsoever. The reactor melted down, the core melted, but there was no explosive force like you're talking about. And in fact, most of those situations, almost all of the radiation was contained, and you only had some of the fission byproducts leaking out of containment during those meltdowns. All right, we are coming up for our escape burn, throttling up now. 4, 3, 2. Almost expended the fuel of the stage. 1. Second stage is going. All right, here we go. Yeah, so what Pedro was saying there, when we talk about radioactive means radioactive is a very specific term that's talking about a very specific thing. So we have to be very careful when we're defining what radioactive is. Radioactive means the particle, the atom, is unstable and will emit a subatomic particle to reduce its energy and achieve a more stable state. So radioactive isotopes like uranium will emit alpha particles, and then once it's emitted the alpha particle, it has decayed to its stable state. So when we're talking about radioactive, fusion reactors produce radiation in the fusion process, right? As well as fission. Obviously everyone's heard how fission reactors work. You have a neutron chain reaction that causes fissions to continue to occur. And when you shut down the reactor, those neutrons don't all the way go away, but most of the way go away, right? The same is true with fusion reactors. Well, not necessarily. Fusion reactors, when a fusion reaction occurs, a small portion of the leftover subatomic particles are released in a fusion. So you will see those particles get released. But then after the shutdown, the elements that fusion creates are also radioactive, meaning they will release a little bit of radiation depending on which particles are created. Fission reactors are more radioactive because the products of a fission reaction stay radioactive for longer. You have what's called decay heat and radioactive decay of those isotopes, which can be a problem, but is a different phenomenon than what we're talking about. So it's a far more nuanced topic. Most people don't fully understand, and we do not have enough gyroscopes on this frickin' lander, man. Every time we don't have enough gyroscopes. How much power are these gyroscopes producing? Like, really, how much power are we getting out of these? 5.5 kilowatts. All right, let's get to interplanetary space, and then let's figure out where we are. We're most of the way to Titus, right? We're most of the way there. And we need to get a little bit farther. I'm going to burn at my periapsis here. And let's throw this out. How much more delta V do we need? We need another 1,000 meters per second of delta V. We have 3,000 meters per second of delta V to work with, so that's not bad. Let's go ahead and time warp close to, but not all the way there. Okay. 2,000 or about 1,000 meters per second of delta V. Okay. The gyroscope can compensate for this much torque. What if I spin stabilize this? Here's a thought. What if I spin stabilize this and then throttled up? Nope. 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 Okay, that didn't work. Let's go back to plan A, which is just to manually throttle it a little bit here. And then let's see if I can get this guy. I don't want to change my inclination, but if I can get my heading, there we go. Okay, so 8% too much for the gyroscopes to handle. Let's stick to 3% for now. If they can handle 3%, this will take a little bit, but we can make this work. I could also pulse this. That's another option. It's like full throttle, back, full throttle, back, full throttle, back, full throttle, back, full throttle, back. Okay, that's not a better strategy. I could always just put more gyroscopes on it. No. It's getting more unstable too. Why, oh why, oh why is this the problem? It's the antennas. It's got to be the antennas. Stellar Suborbital, welcome to the live stream. I am struggling. I'm really just struggling tonight. That's what is going on right now. Okay, that's going to take forever. Undo. That's unfortunate. All right. So we need to get this asymmetrical, right? Or we need to bring this back into symmetry. This dish is too heavy, and that's the problem. So that's 16 kilograms. 9. We got 9, 4, 4, 16. So we're looking at about, I don't know, maybe 30 to 50 kilograms on that. So if I go to here and we bring this guy's mass up to 100, actually better idea, just simpler idea to make sure that this is balanced. I'm taking the mass scale of all of these communication things down to 0. Is it accurate? No, it's not, but it is going to be, it's going to work. And at that point, that's what I'm trying to do. Center of mass is off, and I don't have enough gyroscope torque to compensate for it. It's because of these aesthetic parts that I added, which I don't want to change. I like the aesthetic parts, but we just need to compensate for it. All right, so 0 kilograms. That weighs 0 kilograms, right? If I drag this off, nope. Dang it. All right, can't do that. 0 kilograms, please. 0 kilograms. All right. 0 kilograms. It weighs 0 kilograms. We have reduced the mass of the payload to compensate. Let's increase gyroscope power and make them a little smaller and lighter. And then set that there. Let's look at center of mass. Yeah, Tinker Panel remove settings. That's what we're doing. I don't want to deal with the Tinker Panel, or I don't want to deal with the center of mass issues right now. We're also going to get rid of the mass scale of the ladder. I don't want to deal with that. Anything that makes this asymmetrical, I'm just getting rid of. Okay, I think everything else now is symmetrical on this. We've increased our gyroscope power a little bit. Let's give it a whirl. All right. We're an NTR powered transfer stage. Could do that. Could do that. We were going to do that on the last one. But the launch is not the thing that's frustrating me at the moment. We should have enough delta V to make this work. Now. Enter. Take control. Enter. That's 2. Okay, we're going to make sure all of our astronauts are in the capsule this time. Take control. We got Gamer Dulo here, Spacementarian, and Nova Aerospace all aboard the Express. All right, everyone is on board. Throttle up. Hold on. Take control. Throttle up. Program start. 3, 2, 1. Launch. We're off. This rocket is cooking with gas. We've made many design changes to get this to work. Hopefully it will actually work this time. Let's go to the map view. There are a lot of things in orbit around Drew right now. Okay, booster separated. Let's get rid of all that. Clean up my map. There we go. We got another hangar. Throw it off. Spin the rocket. Deploy our fairings. Our astronaut did manage to stay in the rocket this time. That's good. Okay, we are doing our circularization burn. All is well so far. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Give it to me. Get me to space this time, please. Give me to Titus. We've been getting to space just fine. I want to get to the other planet this time. We have troubleshot and troubleshot and troubleshot this thing to Kingdom Come and back. $20. 10 seconds now. Throttle down. We're going to time warp forward. 4, 3, 2, 1, and circularized. Excellent. Let's zoom out now. We've got to get our transfer window squared away. I'm not even going to select it. We're just going to go for it. Okay, it's close enough. Zoom in. Waiting for periapsis. Well, what will be our new periapsis. That's what I'm burning at. All right, first of a couple different exit burns here. If this doesn't work, your last resort is adding a transfer stage. I added a transfer stage. This is with the transfer stage. I could tweak it. I could change the transfer stage somewhat, but this is with a transfer stage. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Whoop, overshot. It's fine. Coming around, coming around, coming around. Throttle up. Activate the next stage. Here we go. All right, so this is the transfer stage going now. We have another 1,000 meters per second of delta V on this guy. And we are approaching Siluro orbit now and exceeding Siluro orbit. That's good. Pushing our apoapsis now out beyond Siluro orbit. Gonna try and flatten out my orbit this time as best I can. Okay, so that is that stage exhausted. Stage. Switch to craft. Lock prograde. I have no batteries? Excuse me? Where are my battery? Where's my charge? Sir? Take control. There we go. Okay. Even Ben3 has just become a member of the channel. Congratulations, dude. I am so happy for you to join us. Thank you so much. That is awesome, man. Welcome aboard. All right, we are going to go ahead, cycle through the stages. Engines are activated, parachutes are armed. Is this going to go cockeyed? Ooh, 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 ooh. Kind of, but that was better. That was better than before. Okay, so there's still something that is a little asymmetrical about this design. Let's recenter it. Okay, so it's performing better. We definitely removed some of the asymmetry. Okay. This side is heavier than this side. That's what it's coming down to. Is the new update already out? Depends on what you mean by new, because there have been several updates that have released. Ah, come on. All right, we're just going to have to be patient with this. Yeah, I know. This is why I usually don't go or don't opt for a horizontal lander, because these kind of shenanigans can occur. But I prefer this to... I like, ultimately, the reason why we're doing it this way is because I was asked to do it this way. So we're going to do it this way. That's the plan. Hold on. That's, yeah, okay, that's the selected command ship. We're very, very, very slowly. It's almost like we're using ion engines here, is what it looks like, basically. Our apoapsis is increasing very slowly. Very, very slowly. 6% throttle. We're just holding it there a couple meters per second at a time. Let's light again. Nope. Oh, why are we... Okay, why is it not working now? Excuse me. Hold on. Okay, you know what? Hold on. We can do... There is something we can do. Well, let's shift some weight, huh? Let's shift some weight. We need to drain... No, not all tanks in set. Undo. This tank. Drain this tank. Drain this tank. Wait, what the heck? Oh, hey, guys, I figured out why this is asymmetrical. It's not pulling the fuel from the tanks equally, which I don't understand. That's super weird that it's doing it that way. I don't get it. It honestly alarms me. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to transfer the fuel between the tanks as best as I can here. Okay, stop. Drain. Drain. Absorb. Absorb. We're going to shift the mass back. That was too far. Too far. Back the other way now. We're going to do some mass balancing. We did not pump our tanks correctly. That's what it came down to. 68. Okay. there we go. Let's stop. Actually, no. These need to be set to drain now. And these I'll turn off, and I'll turn these back on, because that's what was going on earlier, is they weren't draining symmetrically. Okay, so that's helping a lot. Yeah, I don't know why. It shouldn't have affected tank priority at all. I don't know why this is an issue. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna load the tanks over here, ever so slightly more. Apparently that was too much. Because those are draining now. I mean that. Nope. Now it's going the other way. Shoot. 1983. You gotta be 38 to 84. That's enough. 50 kilograms is enough. Ah, fuck me. All right. Drain, 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 please, drain. Fill. I don't know why this is an issue, but here we are. Okay, we're gonna fill those two tanks up. Uh, 873. Drain. Fill. Stop. Okay, that's close enough, I guess. Stop. Fill. Fill. Drain. Drain. Fill. All right, let's balance our fuel again. I guess this is just part of the procedure now for this mission. Gonna overfill it a little bit, maybe. Lock prograde. And of course, now that I've messed around with it, these are the ones that aren't draining anymore. Only these are draining, which is cool. That's fine. So we'll set these to drain. All right, that is at least more stable. Oh, and I fucked it up. I fucked it up again. I wish there was a way to just transfer fuel to every fuel tank, basically equally. Because this is getting just downright frustrating. All right, fill those both up all the way. Thank you. Stop. 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 There we go. Stop. Stop you. Okay, now just fill you up a little bit. That's fine. That's fine. Now, drain you guys, because you're at 100% now. And these guys are not at 100%. What the fuck? Oh, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Alright. Drain. Stop. No. Drain. Drain. Fill. Drain. Fill. Okay. Stop. 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 Fill. Okay. Stop. Drain. Drain. Fuel management, everyone. This is the life right here. All right, now we've got the right tanks draining. Okay, stop, Stop. There. Throttle up. Yeah, it's stellar suborbital. That is correct. It's a side interstage, and I don't know if it would work for what we're doing right now. It's just a unique situation we are finding ourselves in where this is totally not working the way it's supposed to. Okay, fill. We're going to fill these up on the fly. Stop. Oh, hold on. Idea time. Big brain idea time. All right. Everything here, everything I've been doing is stupid, and I'm stupid for doing it this way. Drain into the central tank. Everyone drains equally into the central tank, and then that's the end of it. It just pulls from the one tank, and that's the end of it. All right. I figured it out. I was dumb before, but now I'm smart. I figured it out. It's all in the center tank. Lock prograde. Okay, that's happier. It's still, there's still something that's just a little asymmetrical with it. What? How is there fuel? All right, you don't need to have fuel. Not you. Fill you up. Drain you. Drain you. Okay. Have all the fuel tanks been drained except the central one now? We're about to find out. Thank God I fixed it. All right. I fixed it. I think there's still a little asymmetry, but the fuel loading has been fixed. All right, now we are actually cooking with some gas for real this time. Check your fuel priorities is the new check your staging. Yeah, I don't even know if that was a fuel priority. It might have just been like a fuck up with doing the symmetry of these things wrong. Okay, we have 7% fuel. We've got 1,200 meters per second to work with here to get an encounter with Nebra. 1,200 meters per second, people. That's what I have to work with. Let's take a look at Titos. Select it so I can actually look at. Okay. So I want to push my orbit up and inwards like that. Okay, lock, burn. Warp. Yeah, I never touched fuel priority. I think it had to do with symmetry issues. Okay, we are out of Drew's sphere of influence. All of that we have finally left Drew's sphere of influence. All of that was just to get out of the sphere of influence. Yeah, it might have been the fuel line. Something was loaded improperly. Yeah, it wasn't a fuel priority issue. It's got to be either when I was adjusting the fuel lines or a symmetry issue, like if I loaded fuel in one tank but not another. Oh, I didn't use breeze engines. I should have used breeze engines, guys. That's a shame. Missed opportunity for sure. Okay, let's go to our apoapsis here. Where's my orbit? I want to see my orbit through the planet. I guess I'll just look at it here. That's probably too tight. Actually, it needs to come forward, doesn't it? Yep. And I need to be as close to the plane as possible. Is this going to work is the question. Spirit, right. Because we're going, yeah, all the engines are getting like mythical names. That's right. So it's the Spirit engine. Spirit, Mage, Dragon, Ifrit, Titan. It's a good naming convention. I like those names. Solid. Will campaign mode bring lore to Simple Rockets 2? There better be some lore. There better be some like hidden in the tooltips and stuff, you know, little snippets of like Druid history and everything. References to like some major historical events that are totally irrelevant to the game. I would love to see some creative writing in the campaign mode update. That'd be fun. All right, we are going to do almost the impossible here. We're going to try and get an intercept with Nebra with 4% fuel. I'm going to... We're not even in the right plane either. I can make a plane adjustment. We're close. Can we get... No. No, we can't. How much fuel would I need to make this happen? 682 meters per second is what I got to work with here, huh? Yeah, will the Drew explain all the weird weather phenomena and stuff? Lack of clouds, lack of cities. It's a spacefaring civilization with no development anywhere. Right, quick save. Here we go. Moment of truth. Can I do this on low fuel in a poorly designed and glitchy lander? I should have just done a more basic one. This design sucks. All right. No, I shouldn't waste my fuel there. I should burn how much fuel do I have left? 682 meters per second only. That's not enough. Get aero brake. Bring my apparatus in. Oh, hold on. Did we just get an intercept? Hold on 1 second. Hold on just a ding dong second. Did I see a little bit of green? Do I spy a little? Oh my goodness. We might actually pull this mofo off. We've got an intercept here. We've got an intercept. By chance, by pure chance, we have an intercept. We're close enough. We're close enough to the plane. We can get this. Come on. Come on. Come on. I saw the green blip. I know it's there. A little bit more. Nope, the other way. There it is. All right, that is it. That is, I'll be damned, but that's an intercept with Nebra. Barely. I mean, we're swinging way wide here. All right, let's zoom way in. I'm like leaning into my monitor too. Hold on, let me adjust my microphone. I'm gonna lean in here because I'm deep in thought now, guys. Deep in thought, trying to get this to work. If I can salvage this mission with one hell of a well-planned burn here, I would be very impressed with myself if I could do that. Okay, so we need to get closer. Closer, closer, closer. Closer, 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 closer. That's almost on plane. That gets us farther away. Closer, 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 closer. Hit. I want to hit it. I want to hit it. Ah! That's Ha! We've done it. This will not survive, though. There's no way this survives. All right, I'm gonna do a shitty thing. Oh no, re-entry heat damage is already off. Never mind. Never mind. I'm not gonna. I was going to disable re-entry heat damage, but it's already been disabled, so that's chill. All right, lock, burn. Tiny little change here. And we're probably going to have to do a correction burn because this is a little off. Yeah. That's not too bad, actually. Okay, we're a little off. We got most of the way there. We still have our intercept, but it's just not the collision we wanted. I'm going to burn some more fuel. We're going to burn closer into the gravity well here. So this burn is going to be more expensive to do the same thing, basically. But we overshot. We need to come back now. So yeah, this is already a lot more expensive of a maneuver here. Okay, we're just doing the same thing, trying to get it back on a collision course. Back on the collision course. There it is. Okay, I'm going to manually throttle this one up. 36 meters per second. There we go. 50, 37, 13, 36. Okay. Delete. Where does that leave us? Does that put us on a collision? Yes, it does. All right. Let's time warp. Here we come. Here we come. Yeah, it tends to overshoot. There's some ways to compensate for it. If you're thinking ahead and you're smart enough, you can compensate for it. But we've got 558 meters per second of delta V. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to right about here, before we get to the planet's sphere of influence, try and pull my vector out of the atmosphere, or off a collision course, basically. Do I have the fuel? Do I need to start my burn earlier? Let's start the burn earlier. Let's start the burn here. Can I get myself, there we go, off of a collision course for about 100 meters per second? I can. 98%, we'll go with that. Lock, warp, but I'll fly it manually. For some reason, it didn't want to actually point at the vector. There we go. Slowly throttle up. Keep my vector pointing along it. Okay, that should be fine. Delete. Let's just manually, there we go. All right, let's lock retrograde. We're going to warp forward. Here comes Nebra. There's Nebra. We see her now. Coming up. 5.9 kilometers. That is almost perfect. All right, let's turn that off and that off. Don't need that anymore. Recenter on the craft. There's Nebra. Okay, so, oh, hold on. I forgot to quick save. Quick save again. we're going to try an aero brake here. I'm going to lock radial out. I don't know how tall. I don't know how tall they or how high up the atmosphere of Nebra goes. We're going to go 30 kilometers. Lock retrograde. See what happens. Will this burn up? Will I totally miss the atmosphere? Am I shooting too high? This might have been too high. Nope. Here we go through the atmosphere. Heat damage is disabled because we're chads like that. Okay, that was too far. Quick load. So 30.5. That was 30.5. Let's go 28. No, let's go bigger. Let's go 25. 25 kilometers down into the atmosphere. Lock radial out. We're going to throttle up. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Retrograde and go. Okay, bounce, 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 bouncing. Oh. Parachutes deployed. Okay, so we're coming in for the landing one way or the other. Okay, that was too low, basically. Because there's no guarantee there's ground where we're going right now. That's the problem. Is the chances that we're hitting ground right now are slim to none. I mean, I see an island, but we're coming short of it. Okay, let's quick load. So 25 was too low. And I kind of anticipated 25 being too low. Let's go 27, 26 and a half or 27. Because that was really close to being the right altitude to go for. Switch our mode. Radial out. $26.5. Let's push it to 27. Retrograde and fall. So atmosphere height's about 40 kilometers. That did it. 46, 47, 50 kilometers? That's almost about Drew's atmosphere height, actually. Very close to Drew's atmosphere. Yeah, in fact, that's almost exactly Drew's atmospheric height, 60 kilometers. Okay, that gives me something to base the next couple of maneuvers off of. That was a success. We're going to quick save that. I'm going to make a prograde burn here. Actually, no, we're just going to do it manually. We're flying this ship manually from here on out, boys. No burn nodes. I need to raise my apoapsis to the edge of the atmosphere. So if it was 60, let's go up to 50. Okay. Time warp forward as we hit the atmosphere one more time. Actually, the goal is to put the colony next to an active volcano. We're trying to get to 0, latitude and longitude. There's a huge volcano on Nebra that I want to put the colony down on. And that is pretty much 100% the goal. Yeah, all the land. Nebra is a ocean planet with volcanic islands. There's nowhere to land except volcanoes. That's the fun part. This might have been too much. No, I think we're good. We're at periapsis and we're rising, and our apoapsis just didn't drop too much. This is close enough to a circular orbit. I think we can work with it. I will raise my periapsis with the little bit of fuel I have left. How much delta V do I have to work with? 400 meters per second. That's so much delta V, guys. So much delta V to work with. 400 meters per second of delta V. We're not going to be able to land. That's one problem. So we'll probably crash into the surface going too fast. But we got so much delta V. What I can do, if push comes to shove, we've come so far. I really do want to make this attempt, honestly. But I am not above just, just like giving myself a little bit of extra fuel for the landing. If this works, I will give myself the fuel to make the landing successful. That's my thought process at this point. Okay, so we're in orbit. Now we got to look right on the horizon. That island looks good, but I don't know if it's our island. We'll do a couple more passes. That island looks good. Those islands look good. Okay. Nope, not going to get it on that pass. Okay, we could go for these guys. That volcano right there looks pretty interesting. And I think we can hit it on this next pass. Retrograde. Yep, okay, we're going to hit it. Okay, I think that's enough. We're gonna... Nope. Quick save. All right, here we go. In for the landing. In for the landing. Making our descent now. Let's see if we can pull this off. This has been a long, long mission. Our crew is tired. They are ready. They're ready to stretch their space legs, get out of the cabin. I can see the landing zone. I can see the LZ right now. I think we're going to overshoot it on this trajectory, so I need to slow down. We're going to burn the last of our fuel here. There it is. Every drop of fuel has been used up here. I'm going to go for the North Island. I think I can hit that on this trajectory. We're in the atmosphere. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn on infinite fuel. I know. I don't like cheating if it can be helped, but we are too far into this live stream for me not to have a success here. I'm not starting over. So what we're going to do, we're going to adjust our final approach here. That might have been almost all of our adjustment right there was just that maybe 5 meters per second of extra fuel. Oh no, hold on. Quick load. I'm going to restore the game. How did you get the update? I'm on PC, and if you switch over to the experimental version on Steam, you can get the update. If you're on mobile, you'll have to wait a little bit longer, but they're working on the mobile release for all the updates, and you will get it very soon. So if you're on mobile, fear not, you will be getting it in the very near future. Just hang tight a little bit longer, friends. It's coming. Okay, so let's go here and like that, basically. That was too much. Too much. Okay. How much delta V? We have 116. If I can get this, if I can stick this landing, I may not need to even use the... I've got 116 meters per second of delta V, and I've got a parachute. If I can get there, that would be so sick if I could get here. Is this trajectory going to get us there, is the question. I might need to back off a little bit here. That's my one thought is... Okay, what if I just stretch my apoapsis out ever so slightly here? Okay, we are hitting the atmosphere now. Yeah, it's try to use the craft aerodynamics. There is not a whole lot of craft aerodynamics to work with here. It's gonna fly like a brick. It's not like the space shuttle where there's some, some real maneuverability you can work out of it. We are still falling short. I have 105 meters per second of delta V left on this tank. So what I'm going to try to do is, and it's going to be close. Just try to bump my heading up ever so slightly. That's all I'm trying to do here. Parachutes just deployed. Drogue chutes are away, but they shouldn't interfere with me throttling my engines. All right, we've got 60 meters per second. I've got to call it there. All right, MLI time. Here it is. Gonna have to use the cheat codes. Didn't want to, but here we are. Oh, wait, hold on. MLI again. I already had it on. There we go. Okay, we're just gonna really stretch that out. Okay, that's as good as it's getting. We're over the island now. All right. Activation group 1. Activate all the landing gear. Activation group 2 and activation group 3. Lights are on, ladders and landing gear are deployed. Let's go ahead and deploy our communications equipment. That guy is up. Turn him off. Recenter that. All right, while we're in the air, I'm going to go ahead and bring that guy down, that guy forward, and let's turn the motor on, huh? Boom. All right, our radar is scanning. Our antenna is up. We are descending. 72 meters per second dropping, now 66, 65 meters per second and dropping. Main chute just deployed, drogue chute separated. We are continuing to decelerate. Chute has not fully deployed yet. .49 meters per second. Chute has fully inflated. We are 27 meters per second. Velocity relative to the ground and descending. Going to go ahead and light my engines for the landing. All right, gentlemen, here is where We're going to get a little cheaty with it, but only a little bit. Only a little bit. I'm going to throttle up. We're going to try and land not on the hillside here. All right, I guess we're going to have to do a hillside landing. That's fine. Throttle up, throttle up, throttle up. Cancel out my velocity. Okay, so we're on the ground. we're on the ground technically. Let's repack the chute. Can we get down to the water is my question right now. I think we can. Okay, lock retrograde. We're coming in for a second landing attempt here. All right, I think that is as good as a touchdown as we are going to get. We're on one hell of a hill, but I think this thing slopes pretty much all the way down. We could try to get going that way. Maybe make one more hop. Blast a little bit that way. Lock retrograde. Said lock retrograde. Uh-oh. There we go. Hey, technically brought it in for landing. All right, I'm not going to mess around with it anymore. We're on the ground. That took a lot of concentration and work, but we are here. It is not the best LZ, to be sure, but we're on the ground. Let's go ahead and EVA our astronauts. Nova Aerospace here on the ground next to our lander. We have made it. It is definitely a wonky place to be, but we are overlooking an alien ocean on an alien world. What a view that is. Truly phenomenal. There's the sun. Is Titus is somewhere in the sky. Or no, maybe it's on the other side of the mountain. Let's see. If we time warp, what will we see if we time warp, huh? Will we see Titus? Well, I get it. I want to see Titus. Whoa! Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the view I wanted to see. Oh, look at that. Looking at a planet from a moon. Okay, so hear me out. I want to get the best vista of this moon, right? Here's the. We're going for the screenshot here. Let's see if we can't run. Get our little Drew legs going, running down there. Oops. We're literally sliding down. There we go. We got to run like caddy, kind of crab walk up the hill here. I want to get some water in the screenshot. Really capture the majesty of what we're looking at. We're looking at a gas giant from the surface of a very thick, dense atmosphere, watery moon. All worth it. And you know what? We could have done that mission. We could have done that mission if I had been a little bit more precise with the landing and actually was able to target an LZ really accurately. We could have done that mission with the amount of fuel we had. We cheated. We used the infinite fuel cheat just to toy around with getting a slightly better LZ, but we didn't need to do that. We were there without it, which, you know what? That is good enough for me. It is quite the journey. Never is 21.9 degrees Celsius, which makes it unbearably hot. Actually, that would make it bearably hot. By definition, that is literally bearably hot. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Those are huge waves. You guys seeing how big those waves are? Let's maybe climb up this hill a little bit. Okay. And time warp. I want to see Tytos rise over the surface. That's what I'm looking for right here. Looking for that epic screenshot. Nope. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. That's the view I'm looking for right there. All right, everyone. Now it's 21.9 degrees Celsius is quite. It's warm, but it's over room temperature, but it's not hot. It's hot, but it's not unbearable. It's like a 80, 90 degrees, I think. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming in on this live stream. We're coming up on 3 hours now. This was a long one. So thank you guys so much for watching to the end. I am so glad to have been able to enjoy it with you all. It was a joy to attempt this and technically succeed with some reservations. We were able to succeed. This definitely counts as a win in my book. I'm so glad you guys were able to come. The next video I'm going to be working on is going to be a little bit of a delay. I'm going to be very busy this weekend, next week. I am moving up to Connecticut actually tomorrow. So this is going to be a bit of a wild time for me. But once my schedule settles back down, I will be working on the next video. And I hope to see you guys there. Until then, I'm Deltlead. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. You all have a great night.